Hey guys, welcome to another YouTube video right here on the platform. This is Abimafamily. If you're new to the platform, then welcome. But then if you're already glued to the platform, then welcome to another amazing video. So it's been a long time. We miss you guys. As always, we would like to inspire all the youth out there who want to venture into
Who wants to get married? What's
who wants to
to
get
get
married.
married?
Welcome.
Honestly, marriage is not a big deal.
Yeah, provided there is an understanding.
I'm not talking about the both of you. I'm talking about financial aspects.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. You both can sit down and then plan on how you want to go about your wedding. It can be something small, it can be something big, but it doesn't necessarily mean you should do something big when you can't afford.
Yes.
Because I think someone has been meaning to get married, but maybe his or her partner wants something big. And because of that, they are still waiting. The more you wait, the more you sin. So please.
You see, the awkward feeling is that the more you are making the guy wait, because mostly it's the woman that try to bring the idea of huge wedding and all that. But the more, no, let's be honest, the more you let the guy wait, the more, he have other plans. He gets
And then
to
the
get
more
other
things
plans.
get expensive.
Yes, it's not easy.
It's not easy, but sometimes it's easy.
So I remember when we were planning, most of the stars that we needed
Were bought long
ago.
before
Yes, very
we
long
started
ago.
planning.
So the raw planning came in later on. But then, as you know, as a gentleman, one day you're actually going to get married. So I had that mentality in mind that one day I'll settle down. So I needed to do some planning.
We started planning this like 4 years ago.
I remember I started asking friends, what do you need to buy when you are getting married? Especially my friends that were married then. What do you need to buy? What are some of the things that you would need? And then they started advising, buy the clothes, buy your suit. So I started buying the clothes. And then this lady did the honorable. She went to buy the stars for us.
Yes, you have to pay me.
but you had everything to go and buy.
But you have to pay me.
I was extremely busy then because I had to make ends meet. I needed to try so hard because without it, and came far. So after buying all those stuffs, we sat down to plan on how we wanted the whole thing to be. We decided that we wanted something small, not big, not too small, but then
Something unique.
yeah, something so special that everybody who comes around will recognize it, but not necessarily inviting everyone out there, especially me. I was with this mentality
one.
that let's have it cute. Not too much noise. Let's not make too much noise.
Me, my family members are plenty.
Plenty family members.
How can we invite like 50 people? Me, only my family members are 50. My friends,
Her friends alone.
I think I let my friends, my inventive friends, JHS, SH, about.
See you. So many. But then we had to make ends meet because the thing is, even though we would want to have a very special day because it comes once in a lifetime.
And this one stressed me.
I needed to stress her.
He stressed me.
How?
He didn't want to make the wedding how I wanted it. Yes. And I remember. It doesn't the things were not there. We've already bought all the things for both weddings.
Yeah.
Both traditional and then. We already bought all the things. I've already pictured the day. How I will look in that dress. And then this one was like, let's make it something small, something simple. I cried. Honestly, I cried. But I thought about it and then I was able to convince him. Even though we didn't spend that much. Why I was able to convince him was that it was because we already had the things. So if the things are not there, and then you can't afford it, and you want to have only one wedding, that's the traditional wedding, you can do that one. But we were already having the things, we bought everything, and then I've gone for measurements and all of that. But I've paid, and then you're like, we should have only one.
The thing is, regardless, we still had the day we wanted. She got satisfied
Oh yes.
with the day she wanted.
But
But then we
didn't
had to argue
spend that
small.
much.
Yeah, we had to argue. We didn't. In fact,
What?
this is where the advice comes in.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the advice comes in.
What we are trying to say is, even though we had the wedding I wanted, or both of us wanted, but we didn't spend that much, and then we didn't spend
Way
about.
above our expenses.
Yes,
I mean,
we didn't. I was opting in for that because we already had the things. That's why I opted for it. Had it been that there were no things, and then he went like we should do the traditional wedding. Why not? But I didn't want the things to waste. Me, I've worked under the scorchy sun, want to buy all the things and all that, and then you're saying no.
there are situations where the ladies would go extra mile. I mean, they would be like, if you don't make us have this, if you are not having this, then no wedding. That's sort of disagreement and argument and all that. I mean, it does happen at the beginning stages. But one thing is, you both have to understand each other from each other's point of view. One thing that
Yeah.
worked for us was that I was always the type that would want to give reasons for my actions. And that is what has helped us both ever since we got married from the beginning of our relationship and all that. We don't just say that let's do this. When you say let's do this, you have to come along with a reason. You don't come and then be like, let's do this, like those impulsive and then autocratic commanding staffs. No, we're not doing that. We come, maybe I want us to buy white suit. Why do you want us to buy white suit? And then I will explain. She brings her own opinion. If it's aligned, then we move ahead with it. But if not, like she said, the beginning of the wedding, I had different perspective. I had different idea altogether. I didn't want a blessing because of some personal reasons and all that. But then along the way, she convinced me that we need to do this with this reason. And I heard her from a point of view. So I suggested something that could work for both of us. And we both agreed. That we are not going to say it here. But then at the end of the day, she was happy. I was happy with the wedding. And in fact, even though the invites were not plenty, it turned out really, really massive. I mean, people came a lot. The way people showed up,
Eh, I'm sure like five people came with one invitation card.
a lot of people came around.
Hey!
But then, like, you don't want to have that
My mom alone was a microphone.
her first daughter, and then she's getting married.
And
You
then
know
you
how
went
the
like
noise goes.
150 people.
Yeah.
No,
So
it won't happen.
her people showed up. A lot of people showed up. My people showed up.
Yeah, we are
It was
grateful.
it was fun. The day was so planned in a nice way, and my family was so supportive. I remember even a day before our wedding, they didn't sleep. They asked me to go and sleep. Everybody was on board that night. They
My
didn't sleep.
goodness.
They
They
didn't
had to
sleep.
cook and cook.
In fact, they were doing so many, a lot. When you have a supportive family, it doesn't have to be financially. Even if they can't afford financially to support you,
They can use
the
their
moral
strength, their
support, yeah,
presence,
their
and
presence alone
everything.
is much. And they did. They showed up in a way that I can never forget. So planning a wedding is not easy,
But
but it
it can
shouldn't
be
be
easy.
difficult.
But it can be easy for you.
Yes, it shouldn't be difficult at all. But
And then you can't compare your wedding to others. You can't be
yes,
like, my friend did this, so I want to do that.
all fingers.
I'm not the same.
Yeah.
If you are a youth out there and you want to get married, and then you have certain amounts or you have certain targets, and then your partner is not in for that or doesn't want the same wedding as you want, just you both should sit down. Just sit him or her down.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Give reasons as to why you want this wedding and not this wedding. Because after the wedding, you are not going to chew your hands. You
It's
are
not
not
easy.
after the wedding, you are not going to stay indoors and then be watching each other's faces. You have to eat, you have to plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you are a youth out there, if not youth, if you are out there and you want to get married, I'm saying my own point of view. No matter the amount, no amount is small for a wedding.
It also depends on the family though, because when you have a family whose budget is way beyond your reach, please then you can't do it. Because I was fortunate. I had an understanding in-laws who knew me, and then they weren't so much costly on what I needed to pay. There are people out there who can afford a huge
If you can
wedding.
afford,
Yeah,
why
if you can
not?
afford, why not? But
This is a
this
one-time
video,
thing.
yeah, this video is actually meant for those who cannot. I remember when we were done buying all the stuffs, and then we needed to plan the D-Day itself. We had to structure how we were going to plan it, because, to be honest, when we were planning, I knew it that if it comes to balance, maybe I cannot afford. So we both sat down, we strategized, we started a business, and we decided that all the profits we are going to get from this business is actually going straight into our wedding.
Yeah.
So nobody knew this out there, but we decided to do something like that. And indeed, we lived by our words. When the D-Day was up, every cash we invested in the business went into our wedding, because that business, the sole purpose of the business was to
Use the
support
profit
the
from
wedding, because I couldn't afford. She couldn't, but we needed to sit down. So sometimes you both have to strategize, not necessarily having the cash around, but sometimes you need to improvise on certain things in order to make it work. And it turned out so marvelous, because at the end of the year, we had our expectations. Whatever we budgeted came through, and we used it as we had planned.
And have this in mind.
Yeah.
Have this in mind. Maybe you have all your money, or all you have on you is like, let's say 30,000 or 20,000. Don't make up your mind to use all the money, because you might, or someone will say we will use our wedding gift after the wedding.
You don't know. People will shock you.
Okay, maybe I don't know the kind of friends you have,
Yeah.
but it's not advisable. Don't have that gift mentality in your mind that you will get gifts, so you
Yeah.
use that one after marriage, after the wedding. No, I don't know the kind of friends you have, honestly.
But then it's crazy, because sometimes you see people want to do stuff to shame friends. Others want to do stuff so that their friends can say that, wow, this guy's wedding was so crazy. It was glamorous.
After your wedding being the talk of the town, what's next?
See, let me say this. Most of the people you want to impress out there, most of them will show up for your wedding. Some might even come just to find news to talk about and all that.
Yes.
But the very day you finish the wedding, that
would be
might be the last
all.
time you hear from them.
Yes.
Because if you are so hell-bent on impressing others, when you are done with the wedding, these people will give you reasons that now you are married, so we can't be calling you. It's sometimes annoying, but that's the reality.
Sure.
If you spend so much energy into impressing folks out there, you will end up alone after the wedding.
Honestly, if you can afford it, do it. It's nice.
It's nice.
Effie.
Yes, when you can afford it.
Effie. Someone's partner might be against a small wedding because she knows you can afford it.
Yeah.
So if your partner wants a big wedding and your partner knows you can afford it, please do it.
Do it for
Yeah, I understood, because we knew we couldn't.
Yes.
But if you can't, I beg. If you can't,
Don't go overboard.
yes.
This
But
boils
after the
down
wedding,
to understanding whoever you're going to get married
yes.
to. Know your partner. If you know your partner cannot afford a Kimpiski style of wedding, please
Understand.
don't be over obsessive trying to convince him and all that. Please, you know the person cannot afford. I've heard situations where people have to borrow to set up a wedding.
That
and all
one.
that. Please, if you borrow and at the end of the day you are not able to support your family, you as a man, you'll be in trouble, because you have to battle it out with yourself for a very long time. Dear ladies, please understand the men. If you know they cannot afford, don't try to choose. It doesn't matter if you put on the simplest wedding gown. You can look simple but pretty. Don't go and choose the most expensive wedding gown, knowing very well that you yourself you cannot afford. Your friends cannot too. I had a friend who said that her wedding cost everything from wig to gown to shoes, to whatever she was actually going to do on that day. The guy was actually going to take care of it and all that. Whoever she's going to marry in future, see, you have this mentality. If you meet a guy and then he gets to weigh it down that he cannot be able to afford all that, definitely the guy will run away.
Yes.
Yes, they will run away and it will be so sad. So please plan according to your expenses. If you know you cannot afford, please plan according to your standard. We came here to share our own story, but then to advise too, because we know
And
that
then
definitely
what?
people are in preparation to get married and all that.
Yes. What we actually want to say is that we used what we had.
Yes.
We used what we had. We spent according to how much we could afford. Our marriage, our wedding went as planned. We didn't overspend. We didn't do more than we could. We did what we could do. We didn't do anything to impress anyone. I can't compare myself to my friend's wedding. And then we had supportive families.
Yeah.
They all supported, whether big or small.
Yeah.
What was important was that we are getting married. We are putting the ring on. There are members to witness that this has happened. So please don't overdo things. Don't. Do as you could.
Yeah. Cut your coat according
According
to
to
your
your
size.
size.
So guys, thank you so much if you've watched up to this stage. Always remember to cut your coat according to your size. Don't live beyond your means. If there is slight misunderstanding between you two, it can affect your whole wedding from the onset. You wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that. We wouldn't want that. So please plan and plan well and make sure to invite us because we want to come and eat jollof.
Jollof.
Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't yet. We hope to see you in our next video. This is Abima Family. Bye bye.